This thing is so much taller than it looks on camera, I promise. Last week's video, I showed you guys how I built this wooden gantry system. In that video, we built just the wooden structure of this, and I showed you how you could do this for under 200 bucks. Now remember, that is gonna be minus whatever you're gonna be attaching to the top to use to lift and lower things, whether it's a pulley system or a chain hoist or a winch system. I went with a 12-volt ATV winch system. I've got all of my stuff installed this week, and in this week's video, I wanna walk you guys through it, show you what I used, how I built it, and then we're gonna use it for the first time. I wanna see if in this video I can load and unload a rooftop tent all by myself. So as you can see, I've got a winch mounted at the very top. That is a UTV/ATV winch from OPENROAD fixing to climb up there and actually show you that. That thing is awesome. I've also got a couple of boxes mounted onto the structure, and I want to show you guys what those are too. But first, let's climb this ladder. Let me show you this winch. So my friends over at OPENROAD sent this winch out. This is a 6,000 pound ATV UTV winch. It's 12 volts, and it even came with the nice rope instead of the, the steel cable that's out there. It's got a really nice hookup on it. I'm gonna have this linked in the video description below. They've got all kind of towing stuff. They've got different size winches for your UTVs, ATVs, four-wheel drive trucks, whatever you need. And they've got all kind of extra stuff on there for recovery gear wise. So check them out. I'm gonna have this linked in the video description below. This thing is awesome. We're fixing to put it to the test in a minute. It ain't gonna be much of a test really. This thing is 6,000 pounds capable, and we're only gonna be lifting a few hundred pounds of a rooftop tent. So let me show you how I mounted this though. I used the mounting bracket, which actually comes in the kit with this winch, but then I've adapted it to another bracket that I had here at the house. This is kind of sketchy being, look, there's the roof of my house. It's kind of filthy. But if you look up at the top, now you guys get to see kind of a top-down view if the shadow ain't killing it. This is nothing more than a tent mount, or not a tent mount, a awning mount from my overland brackets. I've got a bunch of different brackets. I don't ever throw anything away, guys, so I was digging around trying to figure out the best way to fabricate a bracket that I could use to mount the winch to and still have it so I could slide it. So I could actually slide this back and forth across the top as long as I could, as long as I've got the cable length. Here's the cables that run over to the power box, but I can actually move this, in a good range right in here if I need to. For now, we're just gonna center it up and use it for the tent. But over here, so that's how that's mounted. It's just hanging there. Over here, I've got the wires running to this very first box. And what this is, I had to figure out a way to mount the, I guess it's called like a relay system, and the antenna for the wireless remote, because that winch also comes with a key fob style remote you guys are gonna see here in just a minute to operate it. But normally this would be mounted somewhere inside your UTV or your ATV or your under the hood of your vehicle. But since we're doing this on a weird kind of application for a gantry, I didn't really have anywhere to mount this where it would be out of the weather. So I went to Harbor Freight, and if you watch the channel, I use these for everything. I went and grabbed me one of their very small, the smallest one I believe is the 1800 Apache box. And I use these for projects like this because they're watertight, they're airtight, and you can mount them up and actually use them in situations where you need to, secure something up. And this box was like 12 bucks, guys. I mean, it was way cheaper than trying to fabricate something myself. So all I did was drill a couple of holes in the side. I'll go back and add some silicone around here. I just finished actually installing this today. And then another over here that runs down to the main power. But all this is just the relay system and the remote system with the antenna for the wireless Bluetooth remote. The reason it's up here and not down there is because the cables are only so long, because this is only designed to run, from the bumper of your vehicle up into the hood. So these cables, if they were longer, super long, I could run this down here and we could put all this into one box, but it worked out fine just using this little box mounted up at the top. And then I've got the two main power wires running down to another box, which let me walk down there and show you guys. And I'm serious, this is a lot taller. I noticed when I was editing last week's video, it didn't seem as tall on the video, but it's definitely very tall. And a lot of you guys were asking, even though I feel like I went over it pretty good in the video, like you overkilled it, you built it way too tall. You're gonna see today, whenever we start lifting stuff, that the taller the better. It's better to have more room above the vehicle to load stuff than not. And you can already see kind of what I'm talking about. Look at the winch. That winch is mounted, and we've already lost 8 inches just from mounting the winch. So that 12-inch height that we had is already knocked down, you know, to 11 feet or whatever. So anyway, ran over. I'll show you how I got this side. So we got our black box up here. It's got our relay in it. Then our power wire comes all the way down. This power wire, actually, I've got it wrapped, but it actually came from OPENROAD4WheelDrive.com as well. You can get everything you need to wire up one of these winches on your UTV, your truck, your ATV, or whatever. So just check the link down below, check them out. If I've got a coupon code with them, I'll add that next to the link down there. But that I ran their power cord. It's super long power cord you can get from them. And then you've probably seen a box like this on my channel before, because I build these for running power to the skiff battery. I've done it on kayaks, and I'm using the same style plug. So this plug just plugs into the box. You can see I've got the female in here, the male in plug here. It plugs into the box right here. All that is a 12-volt marine switch or plug. I've got that off Amazon. I'll link that below. But then this box is just the Apache 3800. But that's the same plug that I use when I'm installing these boxes on kayaks and boats and stuff, to be able to plug and unplug trolling motors on the bow of a boat. And then on the inside here, you can see I've got my favorite battery. This is a Power Queen 12.8 volt, 100 amp hour mini battery. This is their Premium 2 version. They have, this battery is the smallest and lightest 100 amp hour battery you're gonna find on the market. And it has done everything that I've asked it to do. Guys, I run these batteries in my kayak. I run these batteries in my bass boats. I've got one of these in the back of my truck, powering all of my overland gear in the back of the truck. I'm telling you, if you're looking for a compact 100 amp hour 12 volt battery system, go to powerqueen.com, get this mini battery. You will absolutely love it. It'll fit in places that you really need to fit a battery. Like the back of my bass boat, for some reason, the way they designed it, you can't really fit a normal size battery back there. So I had trouble for a long time trying to figure out a good battery to put back there. And that's when I discovered these mini 100 amp hour batteries. These things have lasted. I've got one in my boat. It's been in there for about 4 years now, and it still goes strong. This is gonna operate this crane. I've actually got 2 of these so that I don't have to charge them out here. I'm gonna keep one on charge inside. And then when this one starts to go weak on me, or run out, which it's probably going to be a year or 2 before that even happens of me using this, but I'll just swap the batteries out and then charge the other one on the inside. But I've also got links and promo codes for these batteries in the video description. Look up under this video, check the description, find the link for this, and go check them out. I promise, if you need a good battery, that is the way to go. They're lightweight, they're portable, and they'll last you forever. Sales pitch over on that battery. Guys, I really do like that battery. I think I've told you in just about every video that you've seen this how much I like that battery. And as you can see, that battery came in handy because it's small enough to fit inside one of these Apache boxes. I mean, it shuts right up. It seals up perfectly. There's no gap. There's no pressure on the battery. And you can mount these batteries any direction you want because they're lithium. But I've just got it set up on there just like as a shelf. It's not even strapped in or anything. I've got it wired in. You can see I've got a 60 amp breaker mounted into the side of this box. This breaker I had here, I just wanted to put in line just in case, water got in that box up there, or maybe water got down here and it tried to short something out. That breaker would help any bad things from happening and the gantry from burning down out here. So I did throw that breaker in there. And as you can see, I've actually got 2 more wires coming up to a USB port. I mean, not a USB port, a SAE port right here on the top. And the reason I've done that is because I do plan on adding some lights out here. So early mornings or late at nights when I'm loading something on top of a truck or we just need the light, I'm gonna rig up some nice spotlights that aim down, and I'm gonna run the wire in this same loom that I got here. I used a really thick loom I got off Amazon to cover these wires. I'm just gonna snake the wire in there with that, mounted some lights at the top of this, and I'm gonna have it to where I can just plug it in right here and maybe put me a little on and off switch beside it so I can control the lights. But I wanted to be able to have light out here when we're loading and unloading stuff. And this thing just seals right up. It's watertight. I've got it screwed to the side of this thing where it's not going anywhere. This guy right here comes with the winch. So with this winch, you get a key fob style, which is a real tiny remote. It's got your in and out buttons and your power button, but you also get your manual one. This is hardwired straight to the relay. I've got it ran into the wire harness all the way up to that box. And this, you just hit in and out, and you can hear it going in and out. I can just stand here if I don't need the remote, or if I'm just standing over here and I don't have the remote on me, I can use this little switch here. This would normally be mounted to like your handlebar on your four-wheeler or inside the cab of your side-by-side or your UTV, and they come with the mounts to do that. I just screwed it right here to the side of the gantry, so if I'm standing here, we can lower it and unlower it with no problem. But I've also got this guy. If you hold this power button right here until that light turns red, which I don't know if y'all be able to see it or not. You can't. It's so bright out here. This sun is scorching, but now check that out. So having this is going to be amazing, because I'll be able to walk around when I'm out here by myself. I'll be able to walk around the truck, hold the tent and this in one hand, and literally guide this up nice and smooth. Look at that. Push of a button, it goes up about 3 or 4 inches a time. That is so great. So this is actually another big reason that I went with the ATV, UTV style winch system for this build, is because of these little remote control key fob style remotes. I don't have to stand right next to it with a cable. I remember when I built the one in my garage a few years ago, it had that cable attached to my ceiling, and I could only walk so far around my truck while I was lifting up and down because, you know, I had a cable attached to the ceiling. I could only stretch it so far. With this, I'm literally able to stand way out here and do this, and I don't have, you know, some cable keeping me from walking around the truck and guiding the tent system and everything up and down. And that also brings me to another quick point before we go grab the tent and test this out. I want to let you know why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. You see this big Banger MK2 camper shell? I absolutely love this camper shell. I partnered with them last year. We got this thing on here, and I can't wait to put it through its paces this winter when we're camping up north. But I'm not going to be running this full setup 365 days a year. And that's why I built this so big. That's why I went with a big ATV winch instead of just like a chain hoist, because I plan on putting the tent on top of this with the awning, with our water container. All the heavy stuff is going to be attached to this camper shell, this Banger. And I'm going to use this gantry system to lift it all off at one time. We're not just going to uninstall the tent and then ride around with the camper shell. I'm going to take the whole setup off. I'm going to be able to lift the Banger, the tent, the 270, everything off, set it on a trailer, back the trailer inside, cover it up, and then when we're ready to go camping, back the trailer out, lift my whole overland setup off the trailer, and then just drop it down on top of the Tacoma. Excuse me, I think that's gonna work great. Instead of just riding around with my gear just on my truck all the time, because these Tacomas, they already get horrible gas mileage, as if you've got one, you already know. And instead of just riding around with that on my truck everywhere I go, I'll be able to take my whole system off, and when we're ready to go camping, just pick it up, plop it back on. These things bolt down with 4 bolts on the inside. If you've seen the video, if you haven't seen the video, definitely check it out. But if you've seen the video where we went and picked up this awesome Banger MK2, you know how cool it is and how easy it is to install. It's actually, I said 4, 6 clamps around the inside. But that'll make it so much easier for me to just have all of my stuff ready to go. And another perk about doing it this way is I can take the camper shell off, set it on the trailer, pull the trailer inside to the studio where I have air conditioning and heat during the winter, and I can rig out this whole camper shell off of my truck inside. So we can install tents, we can install lights, we can install heaters, you know, and stuff like that. Anything that I want to put inside this that's not attached to the truck. And then when it's time to take it, you know, out and use it, I can just use this gantry, set the whole system back on the truck, 6 clamps, clamp it back down, and I'm ready to go. So I hope that answers the questions that some of y'all had of why in the heck I built it so big and why I'm going with such a big lift system when I could accomplish it. I could have went a whole lot cheaper with this, but I wanted to overkill it so that I could do heavy stuff like this right here. So anyway, that being said, let's go get the rooftop tent and try to do this by myself for the first time. All right, the clouds are here, which is nice, but it might be storming up here in just a minute, which is gonna suck. So I've got the tent out. As you can see, I'm using that trailer we just built for the skiff as a multi-purpose trailer. It kind of held the tent. I just rolled my tent right off my stand in the shop and slid it right up on there. Now, I'm gonna use this for this video. This is what I built a long time ago for the lift hoist that I had inside my garage. Now, this may change. I do plan on maybe fabricating my own strap design up later because like I mentioned just a minute ago, we're gonna be pulling this whole shell off with everything attached. So I don't wanna make something specifically for the tents, you know, because if I'm not gonna be using it as much, I'll be using it to lift everything at once. I'll probably just fabricate something that way. This should work for this, I hope. I'm just using some ratchet straps. This is a 2x6 that I carpeted years ago. Up on the bottom side, if you can tell, you'll see in just a minute, I've got some eyelets that bolt all the way through. I've got a center eyelet here, and I've got it kind of centered up. We're gonna find out in just about 2 seconds here. Let's see, out. Oh, gotta turn it on first. That is cool about this remote. It shuts off and reserves battery after so long, so you just hold the power button down to get it back up. Now let's see how this is gonna work. Hopefully that rain holds out while we're doing this. Come on down. Come on down. I'm not exactly center with the tent. Now this is probably gonna shift some, so I'm gonna go slow and probably have to adjust these straps. I just got 2 regular ratchet straps going all the way around the tent. I like doing the tents this way because once I set it on there, I can just undo the strap from the ratchet and to just slide it through. I don't have to lift the tent to, you know, unwrap or whatever. But as I lift, I'm just gonna make sure that I kind of even the weight out on this thing so it don't slip on me. All right, so let's go in. We'll get some tension on it. It's lifting the back up first, so it's probably gonna swing. I've got the trailer back a little far. But once we get it up, like right now, I can probably start tightening up this back strap to even it out. Let me do that. Oh, I don't even have this strap. No wonder. I didn't buckle this one. Let me do this with one hand. Excuse this camera angle. Now it's starting to pick the tent up. Oh. All right, I'm gonna have to set you on a tripod while I do this because I'm gonna have to have both hands. See, right now I feel like it's trying, I need to lower it back down and push the board a little bit further that way. See how it's leaning to that side? And that's what I'm gonna try to fix whenever I build the custom one for the whole setup. I wanna build it with the weight already in the places it's gonna be. That way, if I need to shorten up one strap and lengthen another, I can do it. So now I'm just gonna lower it down, and that's what's so great about this. I can just hit a button. Oh, let me come back up. Just like that. Now what I'm gonna do is just slide my board strap over that way. Try to get it a little bit more center. Let's see if that did it. A little bit more, I think. I think I'm also going to tighten these up. I don't know where them clouds went, but I'd like to get them back now. Whew, I'm sweating. I'm so ready for fall, guys. I hate the heat. Try to center that board up. All right, let's try that. That looks pretty even. I feel like my weight's back there, but that should be fine as long as it don't slip. I think that's gonna work. Now, while it's here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this trailer out of the way. And then I need to back the truck under. Do I need to go all the way up with this yet? I'll go up a little higher. All right, I'm gonna leave it there for a minute. Let's hope I don't drop this tent. I don't think so. I mean, it's strapped up good. Oh, I hear the thunder now. All right, let me get this stuff out of the way. It is gonna spin a little bit. Now, I know I built this mainly for just me to do this by myself, but it's gonna be great if my wife's out here to help kind of guide this with just touching it, you know, to keep it from spinning when I'm backing the truck under. But I could always run a strap to either side there. So now I gotta see how my height is and then get my truck up under it really quick. It is cool to have this, but there's still a little bit of sketchiness involved until I get everything squared away. This winch is doing fantastic though. I just don't know exactly how high I need to go. Probably higher than that. For now, let me get the truck under here real quick. So apparently when I hopped in the truck and drove that far away from the camera, my Bluetooth microphone for this clip kind of just disconnected and I never got audio back. So I'm gonna have to kind of dub over this. This is editor future TJ here talking to you, but yeah, TJ, they can't hear what you're saying. So everything worked great. I just held the button, dropped it back down, and once the tent was set on top of the truck right there, the pucker factor's over. You're not scared anymore. Once it's there, then I was able to just hop up there and then undo my little homemade DIY strap thing there. It actually worked pretty good. I found out that the tighter I could strap it to the top of the tent, the better it would work. And once it's up there, I can just slide it exactly where I want it and then proceed with the mounting process. All right, that was super easy, guys. I mean, the tent just sat right on top, and once I got it there, everything was good to go. I may have lost audio in that last clip. I hope not. But everything looks good. Now, all I got to do is start bolting everything on. Once it's up there, I mean, you ain't got to be scared anymore. The worst part is just having the tent dangling there while you're moving the trailer and then backing the truck under. That's when the stuff can go wrong. But I think it's gonna work out great, y'all. And once I design a really easy way to mount everything up, like I'm really thinking that I'm gonna try to get some sort of mounting system where I can either tie into the rack up here on this that comes out, and then I'd have 4 points of contact where I could just pick up this whole camper setup up at one time and then just set it back down. But this thing is gonna be super handy. All I got to do is hop up there now and start putting all my hardware on, all the brackets and stuff to the bottom. Then I get to plug this thing up, and don't forget I got some really cool stuff coming for this tent, or it's actually here, but coming to the channel for this tent that we're gonna get to use this year. Now it looks like I'm fixing to get rained on right in the middle of bolting this tent on, but I need to get this thing bolted on down before, try to do it before it gets here. It's actually, the rain cloud is right behind you guys, behind the camera there. If you've seen anything in today's video that you liked and you wanna check out the Banger MK2 Overland camper shell, check that out. I'll have it linked below, my top oak stuff. Especially check out the OPENROAD 4wheeldrive.com website down below. They got really cool winches for UTVs, ATVs, 4-wheel drives. They actually sent me this for this project. I appreciate that, OPENROAD. Also, check out the Power Queen batteries. Y'all ask me all the time. You hit me up in the comments on these videos and say, hey, I need a good battery for my kayak fish finder or my kayak motor or my overland camping setup. That's the battery I go with, the Power Queen 100 amp hour mini battery, and I use them everywhere. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I've got them in everything. Check them out. I also have discount codes with Power Queen, so use the link, use the promo code, save you some money. If you're new to my channel, I upload every Monday at 6 o'clock, just like clockwork. So stick around, hit subscribe, go to my channel, check out my other videos, and I will catch you guys next Monday at 6 o'clock. I gotta get this thing bolted up before I get wet. Probably gonna get wet anyway.